The ongoing crisis at the University of the Free State, UFS, with campuses shutting down as of October 15, 2025, has drawn widespread attention through reports of halted academic activities, student arrests, and property damage. Some media reports suggest that student fears of exclusion and connections to historical movements like fees must fall are central to the standoff, framing the university's policy shift as a barrier rooted in past inequalities. However, a critical examination reveals that attributing the issue primarily to apartheid legacies won't resolve it. The university's survival demands financial stability, and blaming history distracts from the need for sustainable revenue, like student fees. There are those who portray this as a clash of access, but higher education's operational costs, salaries, materials, maintenance, cannot be ignored without risking institutional collapse. The UFS has every right to prioritize its viability, which requires payment mechanisms rather than indefinite debt accumulation. Certain accounts describe the elimination of provisional registration, a UFS-specific policy allowing unpaid fee students to enroll, as a response to a R1 billion debt crisis accumulated over years, with only a small fraction of students, around 8%, driving most of the shortfall. Some reports frame this as a tough but necessary move to support sustainability, including new bursaries and funds like the VC-ISRC Mbeyu Legacy Fund to support vulnerable students. Yet voices blaming apartheid overlook the economics. Universities aren't self-sustaining without funds for essentials like staff salaries, educational resources, infrastructure repairs, and security. Costs that have escalated amid the current shutdowns, where torched buildings and broken windows demand immediate fixes. This policy, which is unique to the UFS, turned the institution into a de facto lender, fostering unpayable debt that now threatens closure. Now, these recent developments, including the full suspension of on-campus activities on October 14, 2025, and evacuations at Kwakwa, underscore how deferring fees leads to chaos, not equity. Higher Education Minister Buti Manamela has condemned the violence and urged dialogue to salvage the 2025 academic year, saying that destruction only worsens the crisis. Invoking apartheid-era shifts focus from accountability. To remain financially viable, the university must uphold strict policy enforcement, as the provisional registration process has proven to be economically unsustainable. While some student groups, including SAUAS and SASCO, have criticized the removal of the provisional registration as exclusionary, arguing it disproportionately affects working class students awaiting NSFAS or family support, and echoes the fees must fall movement, these claims often conflate financial policy with broader ideological grievances. Narratives linking the decision to a pro-white agenda or off-reform involvement reflect long-standing mistrust, but they risk overshadowing a core reality. The University of the Free State, like any institution, must secure payment for services rendered. Education incurs real costs, and sustainable operations require enforceable financial policies. Yes, NSFAS delays hit marginalized students hardest, but blaming apartheid alone oversimplifies a complex issue. Education costs money, regardless of background. Provisional registration didn't solve systemic funding delays, it masked them, leaving UFS with over 1 billion rand in unpaid fees. That's not sustainable. I disagree with views that prioritize symbolism over solvency. Universities can't absorb endless losses without compromising quality for everyone. Recent protests, including road blockages and clashes with police, have led to up to 13 student arrests and several injuries. Allegations of baton beatings are serious, but violence only deepens mistrust and delays real solutions. Some argue universities could scrap fees if they tackled apartheid legacies, but reports show no such financial workaround exists. The debt from provisional registration proves it. Upfront payments are essential to cover salaries, labs, libraries, and campus upkeep. UFS is sitting with 1 billion rand in unpaid fees. Taxpayers, already under pressure in South Africa's strained economy, can't absorb more without cuts to other vital services. A reality echoed in government's call for de-escalation over destruction. Free tuition fantasies ignore global norms. Students contribute through loans, subsidies, or work. Let's be clear. NSFAS inefficiencies, not university policy, are the root of funding delays. Fix those. Don't force UFS into insolvency. Right now, Kwakwa students are stranded, some sleeping in churches. The shutdown robs everyone of education. Blame doesn't fund recovery. Multi-campus unrest has escalated. Bloemfontein saw arrests linked to arson attempts and property damage, while Kwakwa faced torchings and a 24-hour evacuation order. There have been allegations of security brutality, alongside claims that external actors like AfriForum are inflaming tensions. Really? Yes, fears of exclusion are real, but destruction undermines the very goal of access. Every burnt building or broken window pulls money away from teaching and student support. Parliament has slammed thuggish security tactics, but peaceful student engagement remains essential. When students turn violent, should security just stand back and watch? Invoking apartheid to justify unrest romanticizes chaos. History matters, but survival today means paying for those services rendered. Without that, shutdowns become permanent, and education for all slips further out of reach. UFS remains closed as of October 15, 2025, with protests still unfolding. Some reports frame this as a post-apartheid equity battle, but that lens ignores the fiscal reality. I reject the idea that historical blame solves present-day problems. It's been 3 decades since apartheid ended. Using it as a catch-all excuse has become a political crutch, not a policy fix. Student fees aren't optional. They fund salaries, labs, libraries, and daily operations. Without them, there are no classes. Taxpayer relief isn't feasible, and free education has no sustainable backing. The real solution? Streamline NSFAS, expand loan and subsidy options, and enforce accountability. As Deputy Minister Manamela rightly urged, dialogue must shift from romanticizing history to solving today's crisis. That's how we reopen doors for everyone. And here's another hard question we need to ask. If violence becomes the go-to tactic when demands aren't met, what kind of citizens are we shaping? Will these same students one day torch their employers' businesses when they're unhappy? Or will they learn to engage in intelligent solution-driven dialogue? The future depends on how we answer that now. If you have any thoughts, please add them to the comment section, and thank you for watching. And if you found any value in this video, please do like, share and subscribe, and I will catch you in the next video.